what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of B is for Build. In today's episode, we're working on the Corvette. We're gonna build a roll cage. Stay tuned. So here's the game plan. Yesterday, I successfully became one of thousands of humans to pee rocks. So I am not in a ton of pain anymore, but I'm in a little bit of pain. So I'm gonna lay low today a little bit. I'm gonna let Eric do most of the heavy lifting. I think I'm gonna be looking a little bit more on the electronical part of things, electrical. Waiting for these drugs to wear off. It's been a tough one. It's been a tough span. I really want these painkillers to wear off so I can get my head back. But anyways, so Eric's gonna be working on the roll cage. I'm gonna let him just take the reins this morning, and then I'll probably just jump in a little bit later in the afternoon, hopefully when I'm feeling a little bit better. So I'm gonna let Eric take it from here.
Alright, so pretty simple. We're going to start by doing our main hoop, and we're just going to go from right before that bend up over our windscreen right here, kind of right down the middle of this arc over here, and then back over. So we're going to get started on that. Alright, take two was a success. So yeah, the last one was a little bit too wide and I thought it might work, but after kind of talking with Chris, decided just to do it right and do it how we had originally planned. So now the halo hoop is the same width as the windshield, and it looks way better. So happy we did that. Just took a little extra time, did another one. I realized what I did wrong the first time. I just didn't account for the extra bend radius on the other end. I had counted for one, but you know, there's two bends, so that was my bad. So bent another one, and this one looks way better. So we're just going to trim this excess off, coat both ends, and then we should be able to tack it in place. Alright, so we have our ends trimmed and coped. Those turned out really nice. As you can see, that's going to be a really easy weld on there all the way around. Use our fancy little coping jig that uses a hole saw to get the right diameter for that. We have it in place where we need to be. I went off of our center bends, measured outwards, make sure that those are even on both sides, and then we've got a nice even gap along our windscreen there, or windshield. So we are ready to weld it up.
All right, we're moving the car into the shade. It's getting really hot today, so it's gonna be a little bit different location than normal. Eric just finished up welding up the main halo bar right around here. Looks fantastic. So now we're moving on to the A-pillar bars that are gonna run down around here and down into here. I'm gonna start working on the thing that we're gonna weld the A-pillar bar into, that's gonna weld into the frame right down here, and Eric's gonna start working on making that bar.
Alright, we have our A-pillar bars made, so that end is going to be up there. That's going to come down right there. It's just sitting on the ground right now. We're waiting on Chris to finish our mounts that are going to be sitting right there with some gussets. That way we know where to cut this end down here, where that bend's going to be located, and where we're going to end up over here. So in the meantime, I'm going to start working on these bars on the back. And what I was kind of thinking, let's see if we can kind of mock up just a little bit. I wanted to do something where it connects probably right here where our other hoop attaches and comes down over here, but over here I would like it to kind of sit up right about there, and then right where that ends I'll have a bend going down so it ends up 90 into here. So if that makes sense, we're gonna start working on that.
quick update, the rear back bars are in. They look fantastic. Eric coped them, cut them, welded them up, placed them back here. They're perfectly level. That way when we yop this back section off, we can build ourselves a nice little bumper and everything will look clean and straight going up. Looks fantastic. Moving on to the A-pillars. All right, we just wrapped up with one of the A-pillars, so you can see it just, it's got a real nice, real close to the windshield frame placement, and it comes down here right where we want it, and then that'll tie into our door bar as well. One of the last things that we're gonna do is we're gonna gusset it up against the body right here, so we're gonna weld in another strip. So I'm gonna cut and prepare those while Eric is on the other side, working on the other A-pillar. Got the second A-pillar in. It looks fantastic, and Eric moved right along to the back support bar. So right here in the back, sorry it's really hard to see, let me rotate around a little bit here. So right here in the back, Eric is cutting up this thing. So that's like the support that Chevy put in the Corvette before for your seatbelts and everything else like that, so we figure it's a structural point. And then that's coming back here to the main hoop of our roll cage to give us some, just, triangulation is the game plan. While Eric's doing that, I've outlined where our gussets are going here, and we're gonna go ahead and put some gusseting plates in like that down here that will help keep this thing from ever wanting to be able to pull away from this, also pulling away from the car up and down like that. Now that we got our crossbar in and the side gussets in, we got a lot more rigidity on the car overall. It's looking really good. Next thing, we're gonna move over to the exhaust system. Eric's been wanting to do for a real long time. We got the tractor flaps in the mail. Well, they finally got delivered. We had them mailed in, and they go on here, and Eric's gonna go ahead and install them, and then we'll go ahead and start the car, move it back into its normal sitting spot. All right, we have installed the flappies. Eric, do your worst. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move the car back to its normal position. All right, next up we're doing the door bars. Eric has started measuring. We're just gonna do a singular door bar across here, kind of starting a little bit lower in the front and going up a little bit higher in the back. So the same thing we've been doing, basically capturing angles, cutting, coping, and welding them in. Eric just wrapped up on the door bars, so we got our two door bars installed. Now we're gonna move on to the front, and we're gonna try and go from this bar right here and this section right here, kind of come out sideways, following this around here, and then we're gonna catch the frame rail line. So we're gonna make a bend right there, bend this way, and then it's gonna bend down. This is the first bar with two different directions of bends. We'll get it figured out. All right, after a good solid hour of cutting and trimming and bending, we've got our matching front bars that are coming down here. Now this isn't all that we're doing on the front end, but this is a really, really good start. So we got them all lined up. They're like dead on matching, which is super cool. So Eric's gonna go ahead and fully weld them in. There you have it. It's a 1-day roll cage. It's an exo-cage. I think that's officially an exo-cage. Looks so ridiculously good. So in the back, we are going to lop that off in a nice straight way, build a new back bumper tomorrow. Dude, this all looks so good. The front, I just love the way the front looks. Yeah, I'd feel completely fine rolling over in that thing. It's so good. It's so awesome. All right, guys, that is a wrap on this one. In tomorrow's episode, we're going to continue working on the Corvette. Like, I think with one more day, we should be pretty close to done. Definitely could take it for a drive on some city streets. Yeah. Which should be fun. We're registered, we're licensed, we're insured, we're all good to go. We got our roll cage on now, so that'll definitely be in store for tomorrow's episode. So I hope you guys tune in, and thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. Check us at more places. We're BS for Build on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those good places, Twitch. BS for Build on all those places. And what's the other thing that I normally... Oh, BS for Build. If you guys want to pick up some merch, head over to bsforbuild.com. That's it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace!